Welcome, everybody. Please join us in the singing of our national anthem, accompanied by the Idaho Brass Quintet, directed by Roger Evans, and sung by Megan Hopfer.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. So I want to welcome you to the University of Idaho's commencement ceremony to honor our students in Idaho Falls. And I'm Lee Ostrom, the university's Interim Center Executive Officer in the Southeast region. It is now my pleasure to introduce the 18th President of the United States, Dr. Chuck Staben.
That would make me not Andrew Johnson, but whoever came after, I think. So, and I'm blanking on who that would be, perhaps Ulysses Grant. But thank you nonetheless, Lee, for the promotion. I am looking for a new job, and that could be an interesting opening. We're grateful to you for your leadership as the Southeast Region Executive Officer. Students, parents, families, deans, faculty, and honored guests, we want to thank you for joining us today. Welcome to a special occasion for the home of Idaho's outstanding National Research University here in Idaho Falls. This commencement is a momentous day for our students and a milestone for our institution. We celebrate 65 years living and growing with the communities of southeastern Idaho, having first planted the Vandal flag in Idaho Falls in 1954. In this important Center for University of Idaho Excellence, we are proud to come together today as a Vandal family to celebrate the end of a long journey and the start of a new one. As a Vandal family member in Idaho Falls, I want to remind you that you are part of this history that stretches back farther than 1954. Let me give you a little institutional history and maybe some perspective. The first graduating class of the University of Idaho received their degrees in 1896. There were 4 graduates in that first class, 2 women and 2 men. The proceedings actually stretched over 4 days, with speeches from the president, from the dean of the Agricultural College, and from William H. Borah, a future senator and the namesake of one of our signature symposia. A musical concert and other informal gatherings took place. Our ceremony may lack the intimacy of that occasion, but for that you may be grateful. Each 1896 graduate had to deliver an oration at the ceremony before receiving his or her degree, and I guarantee the audience is grateful we don't do that anymore. Times change. Unlike 1896, you won't have to recite a speech on the educated man or revolution and liberty, and these are the actual topics of a couple of graduate speeches before I hand you your diploma. But the class of 1896 had a commencement motto that I think bears continued relevance. Not finished, but begun. Not finished, but begun. Think about that. This is commencement, and it is the end of one journey, but the start of another. Now, today does represent a great accomplishment, without doubt. It has been truly special to watch students learn and grow over the years and to contribute to this institution along the way. It's your talent, your passion, and your spirit of service that drive the academic scholarship and community engagement mission at U of I to new heights. Your curiosity and confidence have pushed us as teachers and mentors. Your innovation and creativity have propelled our research and scholarship mission, and I want to thank each one of our students and faculty for contributions. Personally, you've shown courage in taking on the challenge of a college education. I know many, especially those in the audience today, are working students and they have many family responsibilities. I have the utmost respect for your desire to improve, and I want to thank you for contributing your strength of character to our institution. As you explore your future, build on these accomplishments. If you're like your fellow 1,200 graduates from Idaho Falls over that 65 years, you'll see a world of opportunities open for you. What impact do you want to make? For just like the nearly 122,000 total graduates from our university since our first graduating class in 1896, you face that critical question before you, not finished but begun. Recently, I heard Janet Napolitano, president of the University of California System, and a fellow member of the Council on Competitiveness say, "It's our obligation to be great." That is directed at us, those of us who have been blessed with opportunity, and especially those who get to call themselves Vandals. So what change can you spur in your chosen profession? What challenge in your community demands your attention and advocacy? Where can you direct your own obligation to be great? Going forward, I want you to know that you have the support of a powerful Vandal family, an alumni network who will offer you support, encouragement, and a sense of community in the years ahead. Many of you, of course, also have a support system of parents, guardians, and other family members here today, spouses, and for many working students, of course, their sons and daughters. Those people helped you get here, and they helped you succeed here. So I think it's appropriate that we recognize your support system's commitment to your success. Parents, family members, friends of our graduates, kids, stand. That's almost everybody in the audience, I think. So come on and stand up, audience. Graduates, turn and join me in thanking your support system who's facing there. Come on now. Now, graduates, all right, we'll let you sit down. You're a little lazy audience this evening. Thanks. Graduates, as you go out to make your unique success in the world, bear in mind that not finished but begun. Remember who you are, who have you become over your years here, and who you can yet be. You are well prepared, you're talented and confident. You're on your way to meeting your obligation for greatness. Congratulations, and go Vandals. Let's give all of our graduates a round of applause as well. At this time, I'd like to introduce the people seated on our platform tonight. Audience, if you would, please hold your applause to the end. Platform party, as I call your name, please stand and remain standing. Larry Stauffer, the Dean of the College of Engineering. Chess Barnes, our colleague from Idaho State University, Idaho Falls Director of Student Affairs. Jerry McMurtry, the Dean of the College of Graduate Studies. Norman Stevens, Affiliate Faculty. Carol Baldwin, Associate Registrar. Lindsay Brown, Registrar. John Roche, our Alumni Representative. Emma Atchley, Regent and State Board of Education member and alumna. John Winsek, Provost and Executive Vice President. Roger Evans, our Commencement Speaker. Lee Ostrom, Interim Executive Officer, Southeast Region. Mike McKellar, Faculty Senate Representative. Ladies and gentlemen, our platform party, let's give them a round of applause. Thanks, you can be seated. It's a privilege that we have one of our University of Idaho Regents with us tonight. Emma Atchley is a member of the Idaho State Board of Education and therefore one of our University of Idaho Regents. Regent Atchley, will you please bring greetings to our graduates?
Thank you, President Staben. President Staben, honored guests, faculty, staff, family, friends, and graduates. Greetings from the whole of the board of the Idaho State Board of Education. I thank you for the opportunity to add a few words to this signal occasion. Spring, even a late and cold one like this year's, is one of the favorite seasons for members of the State Board of Education because we have the opportunity to truly get a sense of the accomplishments that graduations represent to the citizens and state of Idaho. Individuals with post-secondary degrees contribute to the well-being of their family, community, state, nation, and world. Economic activity, volunteerism, and societal engagement are all enhanced by educational achievements. You graduates have had the good fortune to attend a fine institution, which has provided you with tools and skills to make a difference in the world. You join an extraordinary group of alumni who have done exactly that. In almost any locale, you will find Vandals taking leadership roles for the benefits of their communities and larger world. Senators, governors, economists, engineers, mayors, faculty, teachers, attorneys, engineers, economists. The list is endless and gives a deeper meaning to that cherished slogan, Go Vandals. I hope each of you, having succeeded in your educational endeavors, will recognize your ability to make a difference in the world and pass on to others the value of your education in our society and culture. On behalf of all members of the State Board of Education, warmest congratulations to each of you. Thank you.
I simply want to thank Regent Ashley again. As you know, I'm sorry, I should introduce our commencement speaker. Our commencement speaker, Roger Evans, is an experienced technology professional with more than 3 decades serving the public sector. Evans is also a champion of the performing arts and a highly involved member of several regional arts organizations. Mr. Evans grew up in Idaho Falls in what is now a 4-generation University of Idaho family. He received a Bachelor of General Studies in Information Systems and in Music from U of I in 2000 and joined the Idaho State Department of Education in 2010. He assists schools throughout our state with technology challenges and innovation to deliver instructional resources and curricula. The performing arts remain a central part of Evans' life. He is the music director for the Idaho Falls Opera Theater and the Idaho Falls Youth Arts Center and performs with the Idaho Falls Symphony, the Teton Chamber Orchestra, Idaho Brass, and many other groups. Please join me in welcoming our 2019 Idaho Falls Commencement Speaker, Mr. Roger Evans.
All right. Woo! Thank you, President Staben, Provost Winsek, faculty, staff, Ms. Atchley, honored guests, families, a shout out to Megan and the quintet in the pit, woohoo! And most importantly, our graduates. Woohoo! Come on, here we go. Greetings. What a glorious day today is. Today we celebrate you. We celebrate your graduation. This is your day. The completion of a lot of hard work. Take a moment and think about what you have put into this endeavor that has culminated in this day. Think back through the struggles, the tests, the projects, the demands that these fine teachers, faculty, and staff has asked of you. This is your graduation. This is your day. Think back on all the struggles you have had balancing family, work, time. This is your graduation. This is your day. For what felt at the time an insurmountable task, you found the wherewithal to complete it and move to the next. This is success. For what is success without struggle? If it were easy, we wouldn't be here celebrating with you. But in fact, it is hard, and you have achieved it. Congratulations. Not only do we call this a graduation, a celebration of what you have done, but also a commencement, a celebration of the path you are about to begin. Today you begin pursuing the next goal. Maybe a new job, maybe a higher degree, maybe different work, maybe a new company. Or for some of you, success in a company you've already created or a job you already have. My intent today is to give you just a few nuggets of insight to motivate you. Now that you have climbed this mountain, to encourage you to look at the next mountain, knowing you have been given the tool set to give you the confidence in moving forward. So where do these nuggets of insight come from, you may ask? Aside from my own experience and lessons learned, which I'm going to touch on, I also worked as a student and later as a professional in event management for the University of Idaho in Moscow. I did this for 17 years on the Moscow campus. Part of my duties included running sound for commencement speeches. I have heard just short of 40 commencement speeches live on campus, as well as the past 8 years here in Idaho Falls. So you can imagine how many nuggets of insight I've heard. So let's begin. One thing I learned was to count down my points so you know the progress and that we're making our way to the end of the speech. So, number 5. Remember what you've done. For many, getting through to this day was just that, getting through. It felt like that meeting the requirements of a given course outweighed actually becoming a master of the subject. Sometimes this became evident immediately when the concepts of the next course built on the previous one. But after graduation, we seem to put on ourselves a type of selective amnesia. We launch into a career disconnecting us from the excellent education that we just completed. Now is the time to review what you have done at University of Idaho and connect with those memories. Remember those projects. Remember those concepts. It's a proven fact that the more you use a synaptic path, the stronger it becomes. So I say pave that highway so you can travel it after today when you need it. Number 4, get about slaying the lion. What does that mean? I had the opportunity to write an original composition of music that would be performed by the Idaho Falls Opera Theater alongside the masterpiece Carmina Burana. If you aren't familiar with that, you should YouTube it. You will recognize it. And there was one point, I have to admit, there was where the deadlines were fast approaching, and I found myself lying in bed, trying to go to sleep, and I realized I could feel my heartbeat throughout my entire body. I was pulsing, particularly in my head. And the reason for this, I was scared to death of failure. We all face this, fear of comparison, fear of judgment, fear of failure. I would put forward the greatest obstacle between you and success is the specter of fear that grows insurmountable in your head and, more importantly, in your heart. As I lay there pulsing, imagining that I must be knocking on the door of having a stroke or something, I thought about it and wondered, what is this anxiety for? I don't suffer from an anxiety disorder, and I know many do. My wife is a school psychologist, so I fully respect those diagnoses. In fact, my wife, a brilliant woman, has become that voice in my head that when I think should I take on that 7th project? She's saying, no, don't do it. Oops. But I thought about this. Why is my anxiety causing me to physically react like this? What is anxiety for? Well, it's for when you're walking down the trail and you don't know where the lion is. Anxiety raises your awareness and heightens your senses. But in my case, I've got this composition to write for 100 voices and 60 instrument orchestra. How is this helping me? Well, it's not. Because the lion is there on the trail in front of me, and anxiety is not going to help. I realize I need to get about slaying the lion. Now, there may be some sensitive types out there saying, oh, don't hurt the lion. It's a metaphor. Don't get bent out of shape, and even if it wasn't, if you were facing a lion on the trail, I doubt the first thing you'd be going through your head would be, don't hurt the lion. My point here is get to work. When faced with impossible objectives, the primary reason it is impossible is you aren't getting after it. Get to work. Get about slaying the lion. Even when people who I love and respect say, you can't possibly do this. And that dark cloud, specter of fear starts to creep up. Fear of comparison, fear of judgment, fear of failure. There isn't any better way to fight that than buckling down and getting work done. And I know you're familiar with that. Number 3, see, we're progressing. Surround yourself with diversity. Obvious diversity is race and gender, but I'm talking about all diversity. Each person you come in contact with has their own story. Each person you come in contact with has something to teach you. They have successes and growth. They have mistakes and bad choices. They have experienced the depth of despair. And they have experienced the sweet triumph of success. Surround yourself with people who are not like you. People who don't have the same opinions, who don't have the same backgrounds. And when you meet someone like this, listen. Don't ask for more. Or actually, ask for more. Don't judge. Absorb it. Learn from it, because everyone has something to teach you. In the rest of our brass quintet down here, and Megan, of course, our song leader, our little group, there's 5 other people with a very diverse set of stories. There's an environmental scientist, an Air Force vet, a father, an outdoorsman, a teacher, a brilliant musician, and that's just our tuba player. If you want someone with a different perspective, talk to a tuba player. There's also a published author, a nuclear engineer, a lawyer, a computer programmer, a wellness coach, a president of a youth organization, a nuclear physicist, and the list goes on, just in these few people. Spending time with these people is one of the greatest joys I have. For instance, brass quintet rehearsals, where we focus on music and expression. We also talk about alternative energy, family, goals, struggles, and of course, successes. We do stay away from politics. I have learned vast life lessons from these fine people, and they deserve a great deal of credit in my success. Surround yourself with diversity. That doesn't mean compromise your values. That means have respect for those who differ from you and learn from them. Number 2, reevaluate and reinvent yourself. When I was 18 and I knew everything, as 18-year-olds do, I had a very, that was supposed to be funny. I had chosen a different path. In the 30 years since, I have changed that path often. Many of you are non-traditional students, and this degree may represent for you a reinvention of yourself. Bravo. Reevaluate and reinvent yourself. We've all heard the question, where do you want to be in 10 years? It's a great question, and it focuses our path to reach a goal. But cementing that path now can be hazardous, especially these days when things change so fast. In the last 10 years, more has changed than in the 100 years before it. If you set the meaning of success on what you perceive now will be in 10 years, you're going to miss the boat. 10 years ago, Instagram didn't exist. Uber, Spotify, Google Chrome, Snapchat, Kickstarter, Apple Watches, self-driving cars, they didn't exist. That's not saying that all decisions in the last 10 years were good. For instance, a recent movie came out Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Okay? But make that goal of where you want to be in 10 years, definitely. Make a plan for your life and pursue it. But I also recommend reevaluating yourself often, even as often as daily. Get up in the morning and decide, who am I going to be today? What amazing thing am I going to accomplish? I want to reiterate, long-term plans are essential. But those long-term plans should stand the test of being reevaluated often. My plan was to be a performer. I attended University of Idaho initially as a trumpet performance major. Inspired by my father, who played trumpet in the Idaho Falls Symphony, that's what I wanted. That's what I pursued. But after a short time, I reevaluated this path and realized hanging my future and my future rent on this path may be questionable. I had another love, computers, which actually refocused into providing solutions for people through computers. I chose a different path. I got to tell you, it was a little different back then. My first personal website on the University of Idaho servers in 1995 was one of 83,000 and some change. Today, the number is just short of 2 billion websites that encompass an estimated number of web pages that exceeds 3 trillion and grows by the second. My point is that change happens, and it happens fast. I now work during the day in the wonderful world of using computers to provide solutions for others, in particular, the public education arena. And my job is very fulfilling. But after work, I play trumpet at gigs like this one. I help provide music and performance opportunities for youth. I get to direct operas by Mozart and Rachmaninoff. And I perform music with the Idaho Falls Symphony, just like my father, in amazing events, like the recent Shostakovich concert, if you caught that. Reevaluate your plan and reevaluate your path. Reinvent yourself often. 1. The greatest advantage you have is you. No one else has your story. No one else has your background, your perspective. You have walked a unique path, a unique collection of experiences, feelings, views, friends, coworkers, and teachers, both in school and out of school, who make up the collective and formal you. When you work on a team and fully understand the objective, have confidence that your input will be unique and important to the path of success. Have confidence in what you have to contribute. Today, this university, this incredible, almost 130-year-old university, certifies you in your discipline. They even give you a piece of paper in a nice folder that makes a public statement that you qualify to contribute. Have confidence in this. Stand up and be heard. If what you say isn't groundbreaking, saying it may enable someone to break ground. When I wrote that line, it kind of startled me, so I'm going to say it again. Stand up and be heard. If what you say isn't groundbreaking, saying it may enable someone to break ground. Contribute. Do your part. I'm not going to use the cliche, you are our future. No, you are our now. We need you. We need your perspective. Remember what you've done, what you've learned. Stand in that history and education. It is a rock. Work hard. Work harder. Slay the lion and achieve. If you don't do it, it doesn't get done. Beat down anxiety with work. Surround yourself with diversity. Listen. Ask for more. Don't judge. Absorb it. Learn from others to become more. Reevaluate and reinvent yourself. It doesn't have to be different. It just needs to be better. Do it often. And most important, the greatest thing you have to offer is you. Your story is unique and powerful. Have confidence in what you have accomplished and what you have to contribute. Congratulations to you all. Let's hear it for our graduates. Thank you. Go Vandals.
Roger, stay here for a second. We've got a little present for you. Thanks very much.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Ooh, the Vandal wrapping. Love it.
Yes, the vandal wrapping. It is beautiful. I invite you to read more about Roger in your commencement program. Well, at this time, it's my honor to give the Nathan A. Chipman Outstanding Affiliate Faculty Award to Norman Stevens. Norman earned a master's degree in natural science from Arizona State University and an MBA with an emphasis on information systems from Northern Arizona University. He began his career teaching math to high school students, igniting their interest in a field that he has continued to explore throughout his professional life. During his 30-year career as a software developer at Sandia National Lab and at Idaho National Lab, Norm taught at the college level at 5 different universities, including the University of Idaho in Idaho Falls. His students gained valuable information about the practical applications of tools for database management systems from a leading expert in the field. Since his retirement from the National Lab, he has continued to teach through BYU Idaho's Pathway program. Former students have expressed appreciation for the real-world applications of the material and for Norman's willingness to take extra time to answer questions and help the students to understand concepts. It's an honor indeed to present Norman with this award. Here we have it. I guess we have a photographer over here. Thanks very much. Now Provost Winczek will announce the granting of university degrees. John?
We are about to begin the granting of degrees to all candidates who have met the requirements for master's and specialist degrees. These degrees have been completed through formal study at the University of Idaho. Degrees will be conferred on all candidates present at these exercises, as well as upon all absentees who have been duly excused. Will the candidates for the master's and the specialist degrees please stand? Each of you has completed satisfactorily rigorous advanced studies in academic disciplines. President Staben, these candidates are recommended by their faculty to receive master's or specialist degrees so earned.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Idaho, I hereby confer upon each of you the master's or specialist degree so earned, with all its rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities. In testimony whereof, you will receive the diploma of the University of Idaho. Congratulations. Let's give them a round of applause. Could the master's and specialist degree recipients please come forward to the stage to receive your diplomas? And after you've crossed the stage, if you would, please return to your seat.
Jason LeGrand Bell, Master of Education, Educational Leadership. Mark Anthony Hill, Master of Engineering, Engineering Management. Jonathan Howell, Master of Engineering, Engineering Management. Terrence Benton Scott, Master of Natural Resources. Jordan Argyle, Master of Science, Nuclear Engineering. Matthew Brayman, Master of Science, Adult Organizational Learning and Leadership. Benjamin David Hirsch, Master of Science, Mechanical Engineering. Marcus Albert Holden, Master of Science, Technology Management. Nathan R. Jorgensen, Master of Science, Technology Management. David Allen Lee, Master of Science, Technology Management. James Q. Lycan, Master of Science, Technology Management. Michael Brandon McGregor, Master of Science, Computer Science. Tori Jim Mortensen, Master of Science, Psychology. Amaya Shig Greg Carr, Master of Science, Nuclear Engineering.
We are about to begin the granting of degrees to all candidates who have met the requirements for the baccalaureate degrees. These requirements, set forth by the faculty at the University of Idaho, have been completed through formal study. Degrees will be conferred on all candidates present at these exercises, as well as upon all absentees who have been duly excused. Will the candidates for the baccalaureate degree please stand? With the successful completion of any final examinations and other outstanding requirements, these candidates are recommended by their respective faculties to be awarded the baccalaureate degree so earned.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Idaho, I hereby confer upon each of you the bachelor's degree so earned with all its rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities. In testimony whereof, you will receive the diploma of the University of Idaho. Congratulations. Let's give them one more round of applause. Bachelor's degree recipients, would you please come forward to the stage to receive your diplomas? And after you've crossed the stage, return to seat.
Isaac Stewart Fisher, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. Devry Barger, Bachelor of Science, Agricultural and Life Sciences. Brooke Diane Baker, Bachelor of Science, Sociology. Casey Jean Humrickhouse, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Carson M. Norland, Bachelor of Science, Environmental Science.
We'll give them a moment to return to their seats. May I have all of our graduates tonight stand? This is the moment you've been waiting for. Time to move your tassels from the right to the left. Go Vandals and congratulations. Thanks, you can be seated. Now I wish to acknowledge, thank, and commend our faculty. Will our faculty please stand? Our faculty are the source of guidance and knowledge for our students. You set our curricula, advise, teach, and mentor students. You conduct research, develop works in the creative and performing arts. Your intellect, commitment, training, experience, and wisdom are the core assets of the University of Idaho. Thank you for your commitment to our students, to shared governance, and to the University of Idaho. Let's give them another round of applause. Thanks. I'd like to ask the staff at the Idaho Falls Center to stand and be recognized. These often unsung behind-the-scenes planning that you do throughout the year enables the university to be successful in so many ways. Thank you for your service. Now I'd like to invite John Rausch, U of I Alumni Association representative, to please come forward to the podium. John?
Founded in 1898, the University of Idaho Alumni Association is nearly as old as the institution. May I have all University of Idaho alumni in the audience and on the platform please stand. Graduates, you are enjoying an elite and loyal group of individuals now numbering over 120,000 strong. Welcome. Please be seated, President Staben.
Thank you. Well, this concludes our commencement. We invite everyone to rise and join in singing the alma mater, and then you may be seated until after the recessional of the platform group. Afterwards, please join us for refreshments immediately following in the art gallery right out there.
And here we have Idaho, winning her way to fame. Silver and gold in the sunlight blaze, and romance lies in her name. We'll go singing, singing of you, proudly too. All our lives through we'll go singing, singing of you, alma mater, our Idaho. We'll go singing, singing of you, proudly too. All our lives through we'll go singing, singing of you, alma mater, our Idaho.